Let's make a brand new candle. So I had this idea for a candle, and when I started this project, I didn't realize how much time this was going to take or how many embeds I was going to be making for this candle, because as I started it and started working on it, I kept getting more and more ideas of more things I wanted to do. So so first thing I'm doing is I'm pouring some wax into my mold. These molds were for um, my oatmeal cream pie cookies. And no, this is not a dessert candle whatsoever. I just wanted this round shape. And after they had cooled and hardened and I unmolded them, I am now cutting them in half. And I'm finding that by scoring a line down the back, that it makes them so much easier to just break in half. Next, I am pouring some green, red, and orange wax into these molds, and I just need one of each. Next, I'm grabbing these square molds and pouring some cream wax in the very bottom, just a little bit on the bottom of each mold, and then I am scoring an X into each one. And then I'm grabbing my tiny little round citrus slice molds and pouring some green wax in some of those. Next, I'm pouring some red wax into these little wine bottle molds, and these are not going to be for a beverage. These are going to be for a different product. And then after all of these wax had set up, I am unmolding everything. Have you been able to figure out the theme yet for this candle? If you haven't, don't worry. I probably wouldn't be able to figure out either. If I wasn't making this, I probably wouldn't put the pieces together. Next, let's start making our actual candles. First, I'm pouring a layer of red wax about 1/3 of the way up the candle jars. After that had set up, I am pouring a little bit of white wax for the next layer. And then I'm pouring a top layer of green. Next, those little red bottles that I had poured, I am just dipping the very tops in some black wax to kind of make it look like the cap on the bottle. Next, I'm removing those wick bars, and it's time to add all of those embeds on the top of the candle. So those little cookie pieces that I had cut in half, I am placing one on each side of those wicks. And if you haven't figured it out yet, these are going to be the taco shells on the very top of the candle because I'm making tacos. So I'm just kind of pushing those cookie pieces into the wax that hadn't set up all the way yet. And then those little triangle pieces, I actually ended up cutting them even smaller. And I'm just placing a few of those little triangle pieces in one of the corners to represent like tortilla chips. Because you can't have Mexican food without chips and salsa. And then I have some brown wax that I had mixed up, and I've been kind of stirring it together and letting it kind of gel. And once it got to the perfect consistency, I am pouring some of this by spoonfuls into the center of those taco shells to represent the meat. It looks really dark right now, but it will lighten up as it sets. And this part was probably the most messiest part because that dark wax was just getting all over everything. It was getting on the wicks. It was like spilling over. So I had to do a lot of cleanup as I went. Next, I'm adding a bottle of hot sauce next to each taco and a little lime slice. And then those green, orange, and red blocks that I had poured into the one mold, I am shredding them with my grater. And so the green is going to be lettuce or cilantro, whatever you want that to be. So we're adding a little bit of green on top. And then I'm shredding the orange. And this is going to represent the cheese. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of that cheese on top of the taco. And the shredded red part is going to represent the tomatoes. And then I have some white wax that I am piping on with a pipette. and I am drizzling some white wax onto the very tops of the tacos to represent the sour cream. It looks clear right now, but as soon as it dries, which only takes like a minute, it will be white. So the fragrance I'm using is sweet orange chili pepper. So it has that sweet orange fragrance that you smell mostly, and it has just a little bit of a kick with that red chili pepper. And this is what the final candles look like. It has that taco on the top with the bottle of red hot sauce, the lime, some tortilla chips, and the green, white, and red represents the Mexican flag colors. And the label on the front says every day should be Taco Tuesday. These candles are available on my website right now and are ready to ship. Just go to my website at eartherella.com, and if you type in taco in the search bar, this will literally be the only thing that comes up. So I hope you love these Taco Tuesday candles. Thank you so much for watching.